Is that alright? Or you can move my in too.
Right, start it.
Welcome to the 5 to 9 podcast.
A podcast about creators, for creators, living the 5 to 9 life.
This is episode
5.
5 probably.
Yep.
With, we got TK North with us.
Hey. What's up, TK?
Not much.
Tim, TK? What do we call you?
Yeah.
I call you Timmy. What do you?
Timmy? Do you call him Timmy?
Like-
Whatever you want to call me. People call me Tim and TK. So,
Okay.
Yeah, easy.
Okay.
Who are you and
yeah.
what do you do?
Photographer. Do a little bit of video, but mostly photo. Kind of part-time freelance, I guess. Looking to do a little bit more.
Yep.
So, looking to do kind of full-time by the end of the year.
Nice.
So
you're
a good goal.
You're transitioning out of a full-time job. What do you do in the day?
So I'm a physiotherapist, which I kind of started out doing full-time. Used to have my own business, and when I got into photography, I started getting less and less interested in that. So I've kind of reduced hours over time and started doing more photography.
Yeah.
It's good that you decided to kind of take the plunge and actually go for it this year.
Yeah.
I think the whole 5 to 9 podcast, I think you're the exact kind of target.
Right.
Yeah,
our demographic pretty much.
Right.
So people
Similar
wanting
to
to kind of leave their full-time job and go chase what they like doing most.
Yeah.
Which could be anything, not just photography, but
it could be anything.
illustration or just
Music.
anything other than your 9 to 5.
Yes.
Which is a
How
hustle.
did you? Yes. Massive hustle. How did you get started in photography, and how did you pick up your first camera?
I guess I always had interest in photography.
Yeah.
Had for ages. I had like an old Canon. I think it was 1000D.
Yeah, I had we
I
all had
had
like
an
an old
1100D.
Canon.
Yeah.
So-
I had a 50D.
I think I bought that when I was at uni and didn't really use it much.
Yeah.
I took it away like a couple of times when I travelled, but that's kind of where it started, mostly through travel. And then I guess it really started when I kind of out of nowhere decided to make a photography Instagram.
Like,
not much.
Just out of the blue, you just decided to make one.
Yeah, I was kind of, I guess, a bit overwork and different things and getting kind of, I just wanted something different to do. And,
Yeah.
How long have you been taking photos for? Since uni, so that's been a few years.
Well, probably 3-4 years. I think 4 years maybe.
Yeah, similar timeline to us, pretty much.
Yeah.
I think I got into it maybe just after you guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, just kind of made a photography Instagram. Didn't really have too many photos to share.
Have you always been TK_North?
Yeah,
At TK_North.
Yes,
You
that's
check this guy out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think
That's-
it may have had photos in there originally.
Yeah. Did
But
you
I
start
think
out?
I cut that very early.
What do you mean? Oh, TK North photos.
Something like
Oh,
that.
right. Yeah.
I can't even remember, but it's definitely been that for years.
Yeah. Did you start out like shooting? Like, what sort of stuff did you start shooting? Did you shoot everything, or something more specific, or something? Yeah. What did you start?
Probably more landscape, but a
Yeah.
bit of everything. Like, yeah.
Okay.
So I probably
Kinda
met
just
you when
trying
you
to
first
find-
started, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know
Yeah.
what
think
your photos and that kind of
Both you
stuff.
guys, like the first kind of Insta meet.
Where do we?
I think
first
I
met?
remember saying hello to you, but I don't remember where. I
Was
remember
that,
saying, "Hey, I'm TK." I remember shaking hands with you.
Was that Infinity
Yes.
Squared?
Yes, we were sitting down in that room.
Ah.
Yes, were you
This
there?
was before. This was right at the start of the whole. Because we
Insta
spoke
meet
about
stuff.
how we started and stuff
Yeah.
in the first.
Who did you go with? You were with someone.
Mario.
I went with Mario, which was the first time I
Ah.
met Mario.
Yes.
First time I met you, Mario, Kel,
Yeah.
D,
Yeah.
Rob.
Did you go with Mario or did you just meet him there?
I was talking to Mario a little bit through Instagram, and
But
he's
that was
like,
the first time you
"Come along."
physically met.
So I met him before, and we kind of went. But
Ah.
that was the first day I met.
That was before I met you guys as well.
You
Yeah, I
didn't
didn't-
come to that one, I don't think.
No, I didn't even know.
I think
Yeah.
I met you a bit after, probably through Mario, maybe.
I met
Hopefully.
Mario at were you at a natural museum or whatever?
Which one?
Don't think so.
The one across the road from St. Mary's. What's that one?
The
Australian.
Art Gallery in New South Wales?
No, the other one.
Australian Museum.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with
Australian,
the
yeah.
like fossils and stuff.
Yeah.
That's where I met Mario and Gareth and stuff.
Right.
I think there was a vivid one where a few people. met as
Yeah,
well.
I think we all
Around
just
that
met
same
through
time.
like Insta meets and like
yeah.
just like getting to know one person, then one person brings it to another person, and it's just like a cycle
Yeah.
that kind of keeps going. How would you say, like, you took that extra step? Like, as in, like, obviously your followers were growing, and like how did you manage? Did you realize you're doing something good? You realize that you want to do this full time. Like, when did you kind of click up when you realized that?
I kind of made conscious decision end of last year. Set myself a bit of a goal to hopefully do it by the end of the year.
Yeah.
But I guess before that, I was kind of starting to try and pick up different little jobs and different things, and kind of testing if I wanted to take it further.
Yeah.
But there was times where I kind of thought about giving it away, like kind of working, and like it was taking up so much time, and I think like
you had like a proper career. Like I was jobless, so it's like it's either this or like I find a desk job. But like to give up the career and
you had your own business.
Actually
kind of
established.
Kind of 5 years study.
Why study?
Same with me, bro.
My degree is like in the bin somewhere.
And it's not that I don't enjoy physio, it's just like photography is what I guess really motivates me.
Right, and so I guess like a year ago, like before that, between your first started and that last year, sort of like, how did you said you almost gave up and stuff like that, how did you kind of kept going? I guess that's keep grinding and keep pushing your work.
A lot of people are in the same boat of like, do they chase it, or I think to really do well at anything, you need to give it everything. You need to like really commit and go for broke pretty much. And like, there's people that they don't fully commit, and then they like just like drop off and don't chase it and become like a 9-to-5 person.
And that's the thing. You need to kind of dive in 100%. You need to really commit to it, and you need to hustle as much as you can. That's the same whatever you want to do, I guess.
So and then you said a year ago you made the conscious decision to pursue this full time. So what steps have you taken so far to get it to the next level?
I guess I've just been trying to take on a lot more kind of work, even if it trying to really get in the habit of saying yes.
Exactly what we're talking about this morning. Previous episode, this morning.
And like kind of ignoring if you think, oh, I'm worth more, or this is going to be outside my scope or too hard, just kind of saying yes to things to get more experience with different things.
You just swing it.
That's how you learn. So I think there's probably a few jobs that I've taken on where I thought,
that's all my jobs.
What am I going to do?
We were talking about this, like it's all our jobs. We all feel like every single job we don't deserve it, or like,
or you're not good enough.
That's every job. And I think it's an important feeling to continually have, because if you are comfortable in like, that means you're not pushing yourself, and like you're doing the same shit over and over again, and like you're not scared of it, I guess.
So saying yes is a big one, and I've started to try and reach out to different people and try and connect with different kind of brands, companies, and different things, and just start trying to build some relationships.
And you're also kind of friends with like Julian, who's quite established in the commercial side of thing, and so you kind of learn from him and that kind of stuff, right? Like
you're friends with our groups. So like anything you kind of need to learn about, like say videography or whatever, like you just like we can talk to each other. And
and I think that's a big part of it as well, like community and people you hang out with, because again, the best way if you want to get to that next level is chat to someone that's doing it, and have even like a bit of a mentor or someone to kind of
at the start advice. I think I was kind of not worried, but like working and contacting people who were better than you, but then like I think that's the only way to kind of grow, like if they can help you and they're better than you at something, they can kind of teach you, and but at the start you're like, they're better than me, there's like that kind of gap, I guess, and like they could take the job away from you, or like it's important to like surround yourself with people who are better than you. So
I completely agree. But then like what we're saying in the first episode, like you do it in a genuine way and not in a forced way, I guess. And all of us became friends genuinely, like we didn't force ourselves.
When I say better, I don't mean like, I mean as in they have skills that you don't have. Yes.
I'm not talking about follow count or nothing like that. It's just like skill set.
I'm better than you. But generally, I think that's
right. So and then you were saying you had to say yes to certain things. Is there any like specific examples that you could talk about? Like,
I guess there's one that comes to mind was kind of job for Ram Trucks.
Yep.
I remember that. You came in my house to pick up a mic, and that big ass truck. It was huge.
Picked up a mic because I was doing video. Which I kind of
truck.
Yeah, and I guess that was my first proper video.
Where'd you go with it, and what'd you do?
Took it everywhere.
What was the deliverables like? What do they want from you? And
so I had to provide 10 high-res images, and originally it was like a 90-second video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it was
doesn't sound like a lot of work, but
over a weekend, and
yeah.
Well, for me,
did you
basically
have to post,
over the weekend.
Did you have to post any on your own, or it was just a pure photography job?
I think I had to post 2.
Okay.
2 photos.
Yeah.
Post 2 and send 10.
Yeah.
Right.
The photos for me at that point weren't. I didn't feel like a big challenge.
Yeah.
But the video was definitely.
Yeah.
It was a pretty steep learning curve, I think.
Yeah,
That's okay.
for sure. I mean, you've done time-lapse videos in the past, like, and you've compiled your time-lapse work into like compilation and stuff.
That takes
so
a
I
bit
guess
of like
it's slightly
knowledge
different,
of like opening Premiere and like knowing how to press buttons in it. Like that's pretty hard. It's confusing at the start.
Yeah, it's definitely something. The more you do,
you get used to keyboard shortcuts and like getting faster at it and all that kind of stuff.
I
only learned with you. Yeah.
Even editing your podcast and stuff, like it's all good practice.
Yeah.
Don't say or I'll like
it's just a habit that we all do, right?
Yeah.
By the time I finish editing your episode, I'll know all your little like quirks and stuff. I'll tell you.
Yeah, please do.
I keep doing it anyway.
It'll be keep adjusting my posture. Especially on this
slouched down anyway, man. But
yeah, I think seeing exactly what you just said a year ago, you kind of made that conscious decision. We've both of us have seen your growth increase a lot faster, and you've gained a lot more momentum recently, getting more jobs and more things happening.
More commercial kind of success.
It's really cool to see.
Good. It's important, like if you're gonna do this full time.
Yeah.
To get work.
I think momentum. I think is the key word, right? You want to get that momentum.
Like some people,
keep working.
they take great photos and that kind of stuff, but they don't project that they do commercial work.
Mm.
Basically, like the brands see your account and they see your photos, but if it's all one type of like photo and they don't know that you work with companies and you do commercial work, then they just won't think to ask you to work.
Yeah.
So if you're posting like SPs, I guess you're not selling out, but you're projecting out that you do it and you're open to it, so that's important.
Yeah.
But you done RAM and then you also did JNTO as well, right?
You've done JNTO.
Yeah, so that was probably big first. Not first, but big kind of overseas travel thing.
Yeah.
Jealous,
so
man.
That's pretty cool.
Like they sent me. We kind of got the same kind of offer at the same time.
Same thing, basically.
So you can go during that time, and then you went like in winter.
Yeah.
And I went like the shittest time to go. It was so hot in August, so kind of jealous of all the snow that you saw.
Yeah, those locations you went to were really cool. Did you guys go to the same place?
It's pretty much similar locations.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
it was like these photos, bro.
I had heat stroke on the first day that I got there. Like I couldn't feel my hands. I thought I was gonna pass out.
Bit of a difference. But yeah, I didn't really know what to expect on some of those places, so it was. Yeah, it was
good.
So that kind of stuff.
Really good trip.
It was just like a cold email from JNTO that they approached you.
And through an agency.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is what we were talking about earlier, where like you've been to Japan a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And they've seen that you've been to Japan, and I guess they know what to expect, kind of.
Yeah.
And so they want to send you back there again.
Yeah, I was saying Ben before that like the travel jobs I've been getting are recurring ones that like from places that I went to myself.
Yeah.
So like San Francisco, LA, Hong Kong, Tokyo. It's like stuff that I already went to myself, like funded myself, and then a company wants to bring me there.
Yeah.
To get some shots.
Do you think they sent you there because they saw your Japan photos, right?
Yeah. 100%,
same. Yeah.
So I think it all comes from like funding it yourself to begin with first, and then you work your way up to start working with.
Yeah, I think so, and that can be obviously a lot harder for some people. I was working full time, which means like
you get 20 days of leave a year kind of thing.
But at least I had income to travel.
Yes.
If you're trying to hustle and trying to build, freelancing and stuff, it probably can be hard to do. But I think the same thing whether you're traveling or personal projects. I think you touched on it. In first step, which I spoke at the Canon thing a fair bit about. That's what's helped me a lot. Like kind of setting personal projects, even setting myself dates, like with a couple of vivid videos.
Waiting for your Japan video.
It's coming. Stay tuned.
All right.
I'd like set myself a date to make sure I'd finish it by that date, and like you're doing it for a client basically. So, which kind of forces you to.
That's a good habit to get into.
Yeah.
I don't even. I should.
like setting dates?
I wish I'd done more. Yeah, because having a deadline, it makes you.
I feel like I
makes you do it.
Deadlines every day, like I'm very goal oriented. Like we were talking about, and so I set a deadline. I need to get this edit done by Wednesday, and then so I post it on Wednesday. I need to I need to get this YouTube video out by Sunday. So just get it done. Like I'm all
I think
about
you don't have much time in general because you're working full time.
Yeah.
But I feel like even if you were doing absolutely nothing, you would still you just not rigid, but like you just like it helps you compartmentalize like your day.
Yeah, I write like to-do lists and stuff. And
I thought you'd be a to-do list guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that really helps.
Yeah.
I think I try and do it, but I should do more.
To-do lists.
Yeah, and just like dates.
Oh, dates and deadlines. Yeah. Okay. Right.
I like going with the flow.
Yeah, I think you're more.
Yeah.
I'm gonna post at 9 o'clock. Let me edit at 8:45.
Yeah, that's fine.
Might do an edit post.
Yeah. All right. What inspires you? Like, as in, your content's always been like great. Your edits have always been good. I think, in my opinion. I think the last year you've kind of pushed it and taken it sort of a different level and kind of found your own sort of style.
Your style's pretty unique to you.
Yeah. So how do you think you found that, and like what were your inspirations for that, and like just talk a bit about that, I guess.
Okay. I guess editing style, it's kind of hard. I think your editing style probably comes kind of over time and through different people you see, and like it's not so much copying, but you kind of
take parts of you like. From
like I've seen your work change from like one style to the next, and you've landed on this one now, but like there was definitely like a kind of journey.
Yeah, and I feel like I still tweak it a little bit, but I guess I'm more conscious of being a bit more consistent with how I edit.
Yeah.
And I think that's just something, I don't know what's really kind of inspired it over time, but I think it's something you just need a bit of time and to keep working at it to get your own kind of style.
Yeah, it's not going to happen overnight. Like it happens over
you're
years.
Just gonna kind of decide, and I guess some people stick to a consistent style for a long time.
Yeah.
But for me, it's kind of continually changing a bit and kind of growing, and you work out what you like, what you don't like, and
usually reflects your mood pretty much. Like my edits do. I don't know. Like
what does it look like when you're angry, man?
The red.
You can't see red, so what do you do?
I can't see red. Just no. Like depends how you're feeling on the day and
right.
Kind of, like
okay.
Or that period, I guess, because my edits change.
Yeah. Mine's changed too.
Yeah, there's more color now. It used to be like
it's super. It used to be more desaturated. Now it's like really colorful. But I enjoy colorful photos now.
That's the thing.
But you're on the cooler side.
Cooler side most of the time. Travel, I guess we should talk a bit about travel and like where's like your favorite place that you've traveled to, or like where do you want to travel to in the future?
We've all traveled together.
Yeah.
At some like
we went to Hong Kong together.
Me and Demas, and then like us two, and then you guys.
Hong Kong, the only time we've overseas?
So.
Yes. That was fun. That was a good trip.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of experienced when I was in there.
We told you to come.
Yeah, but I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah, I don't know what you did.
You wanted to shoot my landscape at that time.
Hong Kong.
Yeah, then I saw the drone photos like, wow.
Yeah, bro.
And I didn't have a drone, so I only had like a couple of photos from that trip compared to everyone else.
I remember you were the one that influenced me to get a 7200. It was that night we were at the Temple Street, and I was borrowing yours. I'm like, this is so cool. And then you had your Sigma. I think your Sigma 7200.
Yeah.
Sony? Yeah.
I think there was
someone have an
adapter or something.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And then I used it, and I was like, this is really cool. So that was the first night I actually used a 7200.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's one of your favorite lenses now.
Yeah, I use it a lot.
It probably got me, because I was in Japan those 4 days before Hong Kong.
Oh, yes.
And that's you and Pat
and Gareth.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's the first time ever I started shooting street. I was using the 70-200 lot.
Yeah.
So that's where I kind of started using it as well. I had it there and I used it a bit, but that's when I really started using it as well.
Yeah.
I noticed people say they shoot street photography, and I guess they're on the street, they're shooting people, I guess. But like, I feel like a lot of them don't understand it the way that I understand street photography, which is about like the moments and more about like the person and the moment and like headspace that they're in, rather than just like a compositional kind of shot with like a dude walking past, like whatever.
Yeah.
But like I've noticed your work is pretty. You seem to understand street photography how I do it. So like, what do you like about street photography, and like when you go out and shoot, what do you look for, and
Yeah, I guess for like street photography, for me, I prefer shooting kind of unstaged stuff.
That's why I me too.
Do heaps of portraits and different things because I prefer that kind of natural, moment type things.
There's a vibe that you can't really explain, right? You just like, I see street photos and like they look all planned. They're not planned, but like, it's not very candid sometimes.
I guess it's interesting trying to find something kind of different and kind of unique. Especially, I think Japan kind of got me into street photography. Before that, I'd never really shot any.
Japan and Hong Kong then together. Hong Kong's pretty good as well, I think, for street photography.
But I remember when I was in Japan that first time, David Sark sent me a message on Instagram. He's like, "You better shoot some street or something." And I was like,
something he would say.
I was like, "Okay, time to shoot some street." And
I think he
decided to.
Yeah, he likes your street photography. Like we spoke about this before. It's like I think it's in line, especially with the stuff that we do on Street Classics. It's very about the moments and stuff.
Yeah, cool. I think even my style of street photography is not so much your traditional kind of.
More, but like your street photography is good, and like I think Will is he looks for the moments as well. You can tell.
We always talk about making a hashtag Japan street moments.
You should. Let's do it.
It's more of a joke than anything.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of things start off as like jokes and stuff. Like Street Classics kind of start off like that.
Yeah.
Me and the ex-Bornean lad, after we booted him out, we gotta get him on to kind of. But there's another street account that they used to post heaps of good moments and stuff. They used to post heaps and heaps of like hobos, and I'm not a big fan of like hobo street photography because it feels like you're taking advantage of like someone vulnerable. And it got crazy. There was one stage where like they took a photo of someone like actually doing like crack through a crack pipe. I was like, nah.
Right.
I was like, Mario, look at this shit. And then we were like, we can do better.
Right.
And then we started. It didn't really take off because Mario's kind of lazy and like, and then we kind of like shelved it. Yeah. And we went to Japan with Sark, and I was like, hey, how about we start it? So then Dave's a designer, so then he went and designed all the assets and everything, and like at that time we met everyone in Japan, and then we kind of
that's when it took off, right?
Yeah, like we met them and they were kind of up and coming, and Japan got really famous all of a sudden. Like
that's when Japan started to blow up.
Yeah, and then they all started blowing up, and we gained a big following from Japan, and like it kind of caught momentum. But
is number one Japan for Street Classics? Like
number one, Hong Kong for some reason.
Hong Kong is number one. The following ones.
I can check.
Oh wow!
Keep talking, guys.
No, you can just put the stats up now.
Screenshot.
Share everyone your stats. Oh, it's pretty.
Seems generic now. Like, oh, there you go.
United States, India, Indonesia. Oh, Hong Kong's not even there. What are you talking about?
I haven't looked at it in a while, man.
Oh right.
Clearly.
Yeah.
It's pretty like evenly spread out there, the city wise. The cities.
Like it's all 1%, so it doesn't really. They just have to pick 5 cities to put up.
Yeah, true.
What's your go-to lens and that kind of stuff for street?
Yeah, what gear do you use?
I guess for street photography, it's usually 70 to 200. But I've also shot a lot with 135.
Yep. Yeah, I feel like 70 to 100 for street photography it's almost cheating. Like you don't need to confront anyone. You're like half a mile down the road, and like you can zoom in on someone, and you get that moment because you zoom all the way in on like one subject.
But that's why I would say that not traditional in the way I shoot street.
Yeah.
I don't really like getting up in people's faces, so prefer that range.
Yeah.
It is kind of I like shooting that way as well, because like when you're wide, you really need to be in it, and it's like it's hard to catch moments.
Yep.
And you kind of don't want to piss people off.
Well, like if you see something and you're so wide, you have to get closer. Otherwise, it's just looks like an iPhone snap.
Yeah.
But started using 50mm quite a bit as well.
You have your 135. You still use that or not?
Not so much. Like last time I was in Japan, I was using the 50mm a lot.
Yeah.
1.2, 1.4,
1.2.
Oh, sick. Okay.
Which is nice lens.
It is a great lens. The red ring.
Canon 5D4 and a EOS R now.
Yep. Yeah. So I run with both, depending on what I'm shooting. Yeah. Kind of switch between the two.
Why would you shoot? What would you shoot with? What is my question?
So
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question though. Time-lapse stuff I usually use 5D.
Okay.
It's got inbuilt intravalometer and stuff. You can shoot time-lapse on the R, but it only puts it straight into a video. You can't.
Oh, you don't get the files?
You don't get the RAWs. I could be
wrong.
wrong.
I think I hope you're wrong.
You're right.
That sounds like a dumb thing to do.
Cut that out if it's wrong.
Yeah. You have to check it.
So yeah,
Okay.
I usually, and it's better battery and stuff, and I'm used to using that for time lapse, longer battery life.
Yeah. I would have thought you would use the R to shoot time lapses because the 5D4 might produce better photos, so you can use that for something else. But I don't know.
The photos are pretty similar. Like the sensors nearly identical.
Right.
The R's probably, I like the autofocus a bit better. So I probably prefer to use that if I'm shooting like street or anything. Yeah. And if I'm doing video, I also prefer the R to a little bit better quality, I think.
Right.
Okay. And having log built in and stuff. So
yeah. I paid for log.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I still haven't got it on the 5D.
You have to pay.
Really?
Yeah. It's like $150.
What?
Okay. And like you have to give your camera in for a day or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of install it in to build it in there.
Because
it's just software.
Canon have a history of like the 5D3.
Yeah.
People, they're called Magic Lantern or whatever.
Right.
They hack it and then and so Canon don't want to give out their update file and they want to do it in house.
Oh wow, that's a big process. Like.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's inbuilt in the R, so.
Yeah, that's good.
And flip screen and stuff, so I tend to use that for video.
If you had to pick one, would you go like mirrorless system? Because eventually, I think you're gonna have to decide which way to like.
Why does he doesn't have to decide?
No, like I think Canon stopped making EF lenses.
Oh really?
Yeah, so they're just gonna go down that path. So either you stick with like the DSLR or you. So if you had to pick one, where would you go? DSLR or mirrorless? This is just the question.
If you asked me like maybe 6 months ago, I would have said DSLR, but probably mirrorless.
Oh yeah, so you've used it a little bit and you've gotten used to it and stuff.
Yeah, and that's like they're investing in the lenses, so.
That means you need to buy more lenses and like get rid of the old ones, and like that's gonna cost.
Can't you get an adapter?
It's not the same. I don't know. Is it the same? Like using the EOS R with a EF lens adapter.
Yeah.
I'm kind of confused why they wouldn't make the mount the same. Like as in if it's the same system.
It's physics.
But I don't find any difference.
Distance and like all that kind of stuff. Like
any difference using the adapter.
Is it slower?
I don't think so.
Is it a Canon adapter?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think if it's Canon, it's all like.
Yeah, it's
should work.
Feels native. Great. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, 85 1.2 that they just brought out, and it's like $4,000.
The R lens.
Yeah.
85 1.2.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now like
so
all
they're investing in them.
Yeah. Right.
RF lenses are all going to be like Sony price lenses, like G Masters.
Yeah.
And not looking forward to that. Yeah.
They're expensive, but they're like that 50 that I have. It's so sharp.
We all have a common client, Adobe.
Yeah, recently.
Yeah,
you just joined the Adobe family.
Yeah, what have you done with Adobe? And like Adobe is for our community, it's a pretty kind of big brand because
everyone uses it.
And everything we do is pretty much Adobe, right? How did you like start working with them, and what are you currently doing with them?
Good example of how I was kind of saying yes to things. So just through an agency, taking on some. I think I've done a couple with Creative Cloud, which were kind of edit tutorials.
Lightroom tutorials.
Yeah.
Like if you're on Instagram, you probably would have seen like the kind of campaigns. Or me and Demas did some. Yeah. And then there was like they promoted a whole bunch on stories and stuff. And
Adobe
it's like
Creative Cloud stories.
Tap through edits and So you did.
I think the first one I had to record stories to put on their channel and then just post and kind of direct people over to. I've done a few Rush ones, so creating some videos.
They were time lapses, right?
Yeah, mostly done. I did one, the kind of Japan teaser.
Yeah, they really like the Ginza one, I think.
Yeah, I've seen that Ginza one everywhere.
We're gonna put it right here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So for Rush, and then what I'm working on now is with this guy.
That's why I brought it up. We can plug it out.
Yeah.
Actually, this episode's gonna be way later.
So I think it's.
Put a link to come back to this.
So I think what's good about what TK's done is I think saying yes, and then like, because this agency has gotten so many people on board, and then your work obviously shone out of other people's work.
There was so many people on.
Yeah.
And
so like
Adobe kind of noticed you.
Yeah.
And now like I usually work with Adobe Direct, and same with you.
Yeah.
Right? And so now, like this project that we're working on, Adobe.
It's Adobe Direct.
Yeah.
And so TK's sort of taken it from the agency to now working with Adobe Direct, just because purely his work was good enough that Adobe picked it up and it outshined everyone else, which is really cool.
That's a good sign.
Yeah. And it kind of links back to the topic from the previous episode where we were saying, like, if you have a client and just want to like do the best you can and like just like, even though you're anxious or whatever, like try to put your best foot forward all the time.
Because then you can kind of do better than not like just stand out from the rest. I think that's important. And like the right people, even if you don't know it at the time, might see your work and it might lead to other opportunities.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's the thing, if you want to work with someone like that, again, saying yes.
Yeah, saying yes. Yeah.
Do a good job, get your stuff seen, and it may lead to something else. It's not like, oh, I'm not doing that because I'm not going to get enough money or I'm worth more than that, which is fair enough if that's what you think, and it may be true, but just by doing that, and even if you're willing to provide things cheaper than what you normally would to get a foot in the door, then go for it.
So that, like, I know this, but like, so the agency that you did the Dodge thing was the same one that
Ram
does, Ram? Was it Ram?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were the same agency who you did the Adobe stuff with.
Yeah.
So I think like all these things link up. So like you did one job for them and then the next one came and now like it pushed you onto somewhere you want to go, I guess. So with Adobe. It's kind of interesting, right?
Yeah.
Say yes to things.
Say yes. That's the takeaway from this episode. Saying yes. Any travel plans coming up or like any places you want to visit in the future?
So US.
Yep.
Yeah.
With you guys. Should I talk about that?
I don't even know what we're doing, to be honest. Like, but yeah, like
we can skip that. I've got other plans.
Or like, I don't know if we end up cutting it or whatever. That's fine. But like, we're planning on doing a road trip in November in the US.
Maybe Utah.
We don't even know where yet, but I want to go to Utah. So
I'll just follow along.
Yeah,
I'm happy wherever we go.
Like, drop some locations where you want to go.
Yeah.
Where do you want us to go? You let us know.
Where should we go?
Tell us some nice places along the west coast of America.
Yeah.
And then we'll do a road trip. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so that's coming up.
Yep.
And then anything else coming up?
Got a big Europe trip at the end of the year.
Oh, that's right.
Michelle.
Yeah. Where are you?
Yeah, which places in Europe?
We're still planning.
Okay.
Europe's a big place.
Yeah, we've got 5 weeks.
Oh, wow. That's a long time.
Yeah, and then when you're planning like so many places to go in Europe that 5 weeks doesn't feel like
top of the list at the moment?
So we're definitely going to Iceland.
Oh, sick. Okay.
Which will be...
You can only afford Iceland, you have to come home after.
Yeah, basically.
It's expensive, man.
And we'll be there probably for like Christmas. So
oh, wow.
Middle of winter.
You gotta be careful because like Iceland, there might be like heaps of snow and then you might not be able to do whatever you plan. Like,
and that's the tricky thing. Like even if we drive, which probably will do, your plans can change pretty quickly with weather and stuff. So it might be interesting.
They only have one main. It's the ring road, and if something happens to that, you're pretty much screwed.
Yeah, so you just follow one road around the island, right, or something.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. They have the ring road, which goes around all of Iceland, and then there's F roads, which from the ring road it runs inland,
right,
to the center of it. But the F roads are like you're not allowed to drive on it with normal cars, so be careful. If you like ride off your car on an F road that you're not meant to be driving there, they won't cover you for the insurance.
Right. Okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, be interesting.
Because like a general tip for Iceland, if you hire a car, you need to open the door. You need to check if the door hinges are like broken, because I got stung by that.
Film it all.
Oh yeah, I've got some. I can show you some photos. I didn't check because I got there. It was so cold and stuff. I just got in and left.
Yeah.
And like, who checks door hinges, right?
So what happened to you?
But I was like, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna take all the insurances.
Yep.
And like, I should be fine, right?
Yeah.
But there's so many things that go wrong in Iceland that's not covered.
Door hinge.
So he was saying that the wind like opened my door and then like smashed something and then like ripped the hinge off.
Right.
And they don't cover wind damage.
Oh.
But I was like, I got all the insurances.
Right. So they didn't even cover it. That's annoying.
Hot tip.
But yeah. Right. Costs like $1,500-$1,600.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Yeah. Iceland.
And then?
Paris.
Nice.
Probably go like, I want to go to something like the castles in Germany, which look pretty nice in winter. through the Alps a little bit, a couple of places in Austria.
To Italy.
And then Italy.
Dolomites,
so maybe Dolomites, maybe like Lake Bled, some of the cool spots. Rome, Venice.
Yeah.
And then we're flying back from Copenhagen to Dubai for a few days.
Oh, sick. Dubai is really cool.
Yeah, I feel like you'd really like Dubai for like time-lapsing and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Dubai is really nice. The deserts and stuff are super cool in Dubai.
Yeah,
And
I'll have
even
to get
just-
some
Yeah,
spots from you.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like back to like you kind of transitioning from full-time to like, what steps have you taken and what do you want to do and where do you want to go, and like, it's pretty daunting, right? I would assume so.
Yeah, it is, and I still feel like I'm kind of winging it a little bit, but I think that's,
We all are. So
yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's the thing. I definitely want to do a bit more commercial stuff, just kind of get some kind of regular income.
Yeah.
But I really want to push the travel stuff, and I guess like everyone.
If you got to choose like, so your regular day gigs for like photography, what would you like to be doing? Time lapse, I think like you like time lapses and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
so
like,
time lapse and commercial time lapse is something that I want to do a bit more of, because it is, I guess, a bit more niche as well. And,
Yeah.
And you need a lot of equipment. It's time consuming and stuff. It can pay reasonably well. So if I'm getting a little bit of that here and there, it could be useful. But even just trying to tee up some more regular things where you might shoot for, even if it was food or something, provide a certain number of images every month, so you've got a bit of a kind of regular income.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cafes and like services like Deliveroo that all like need constant photos and stuff. So like they're usually a good kind of person to or client to kind of approach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other thing I want to do more of is video as well, and
Pays more, but like it's a lot more work, obviously.
Yeah, definitely. But even just some more kind of digital products as well and different things like that.
Yeah, freelancing, you kind of need to diversify yourself.
Much as you can.
Yeah, in case like you lose a client or like they don't have any budget anymore for whatever they hired you for, and then it's nice having on. Like preset money.
Yeah. You said also you're about to start YouTubing. Maybe we could talk a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Plug yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, go subscribe. Got like 3 videos.
Well, what can they expect in the future?
What can I expect? Yeah, this is like you promising to people.
If you go and subscribe, you will get probably tutorials, maybe a few vlogs, and just more video in terms of probably more time-lapse stuff and kind of compilations and different things, but definitely a few tutorials around probably time-lapse and editing, a few different things. I've had a lot of people ask me about editing, so that's something, presets and different things I'm probably going to push in the next couple
Do you only
months.
use Lightroom when you edit, or do you use Photoshop as well, or?
I would say 95% Lightroom.
95%, okay.
What do you use, if you use Photoshop, what do you use it for?
Really little, like retouches or getting rid of things or...
like spot healing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So what's your time-lapse kind of workflow then? It's different, like for anyone who hasn't done time-lapse.
Do you use LR time-lapse?
Yeah.
Oh,
so what's time-lapse?
Oh, you want to explain what?
Yeah.
TK, what is time-lapse?
Time-lapse is basically a sequence of shots that, because it's shots over time, you get kind of moving different sequences quicker over time, put into a video.
Yeah.
So you're compressing like a scene's time,
which can be hours into seconds.
Yeah. And also, you can play with the shutter speed of it. So if it's like at night, you could shoot everything at 2 seconds shutter speed and then form like a little fast moving thing, or like
we can show some of TK's. You've done like vivid stuff, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and then if it's clouds, and you can see all the cloud movements. So that's what a time lapse is.
Let me ask you guys. I know the answer, but like, my iPhone can shoot time lapses. What's the difference with shooting time lapses on my iPhone and a big camera like a DSLR?
High quality, resolution.
Yeah.
Control.
Yeah.
In like what interval you want, all that kind of stuff. You can probably control it more on a camera. What else, TK?
Yeah. That's the biggest thing for me. Even,
low light?
Yeah, low light for
even
sure.
using, like I said, using the 5D compared to something that automatically puts it into a video without the files, it just gives you so much more control in terms of editing and low light.
I think the question you should ask is what's the difference between a video and a time lapse? Because
I use videos as time lapses.
Yes, you can do that too, but I think on a time lapse you can control the shutter speed better. You get higher res, like because it's images.
Yeah, it's definitely higher res.
Yeah.
But if you're using video and time lapse, right? Like using video because you can speed it up as fast as you want. If you record enough.
Yeah.
The file's gonna be huge, right?
Yeah.
But then you can also for time lapses you can only go one way in terms of speed. It's gonna go faster.
Oh yes.
Like for videos you can slow it all the way back down to real speed. No, real speed time. So you can the scene can be going really fast and then it can just slow down to actual like video speed.
Yeah.
Whereas you can't go back to normal video speed if you shoot time lapse.
Yes, because you just like be like yeah.
It depends what you shoot. But even like the speeding up video I've used for hyperlapse in videos and stuff. So it depends what you're using it for.
Yeah.
Like if you're vlogging or something and you just want a quick kind of sequence to throw in, then having something that puts it into a video where you don't need as much control can be
waste
easier.
less time.
Exactly. There's not all the processing time afterwards as well.
Like you see Casey Neistat do it all the time where it's like he just drops it and like the time lapse happens and then he'll pick it up and it's like you can't do that with an actual photo time lapse.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's where when I was practicing a little bit of vlogging with Jules.
So if you're gonna mention vlogs, you gotta post vlogs eventually, right?
Yeah, they're coming.
Yeah, alright, go on.
We both started practicing a little bit, just vlogging and talking to camera, and I was using the R a little bit there to set up just a quick kind of time lapse sequence because it does put it straight into video. So if something like that where you want it quick and you just want to fill a scene or add a different scene to something, I think I still use that as well.
So like after you've shot the time lapse, you have two cameras, so you set one up and like you maybe set both of them up, and like what happens then when you're left with 4,000 photos? Like how do you process it and what's the workflow like?
Yeah. So the first step for me when I'm taking even like something like Vivid where I might walk around and take 5 or 6 or more in a night. I'll always start a new folder on the camera. So it all goes.
You can do folders of camera.
Learn something every day.
Come on,
I don't know if Sony can do it. But
yeah.
I think it can, but I don't do it.
Wait, so how do you start a new folder?
Going through menu. It's saved in my favorites. So.
Oh, okay. Wait, so you can mind blown.
You can just start a new folder.
And then everything else like from that point will go into that folder.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So it makes it a lot easier when especially if you're taking a few.
Does Matt Joseph do this? I don't think I've ever heard him mention doing folders.
Hot tip.
Yeah.
So then when I'm uploading, usually I offload everything through Lightroom.
Yeah.
So I'll put the folder straight in, name it whatever, open up the sequence in LR Timelapse, select keyframes. Depending on the sequence, I might need to use the Holy Grail thing, which is built into LR Timelapse.
So wait, so like Lightroom is for color grading, that kind of stuff. Everyone kind of knows what Lightroom is. What is LR Timelapse?
LR Timelapse is basically software for time-lapse that helps you edit. It kind of picks keyframes, or you pick keyframes. So rather than edit an entire sequence or just copy
individually
your edit across every image, you can edit them even a little bit differently. So say you've got the whole sequence, you have like a few shots. You can edit each of those slightly differently and it will automatically adjust from that to the next one in all the shots in between.
And gradually adjust.
Yeah.
So you can have a day to night time lapse where it's like graded this one during the day, this one where it's like blue hour, this one when it's golden hour. So the other way around. Golden hour, blue hour.
Yeah, we get it.
And then night, and then you can do 4 different grades, and it'll transition that grade.
It'll slowly go from one to the next.
Right. I've had LR time lapse saving once. In one of my time lapses of like Osaka, from one of the top buildings or whatever.
Yeah.
I put all manual settings, but I left ISO on order, and so I shot a time lapse because when you're shooting time lapses on a Canon, you can't see the preview usually, right? Like on the 5D, it doesn't
depends
flash.
on your shutter.
Your mine's blown all the time.
Anyway, so then like I shot for like 3 hours, like 4,000 photos or whatever it was, and it was the exact same image because the ISO just kept ramping and like the scene didn't change.
Oh wow!
And because it was raw, like you can push it really hard. So then I used LR Timelapse to kind of change it from. It was meant to be like a sunset to a night. So sunset and then the city lights slowly come on. And so I just ramped it with our Timelapse to kind of
bring it back down.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And
that's my mistake.
That's the other thing that I guess the main reason I use it is for deflickering as well. So,
yeah.
Right.
Kind of smooths out if there is kind of changes or flickering in your scene. If you're doing like a long day to night as well, there's kind of different settings you can adjust, which help ramp it over time as well.
Is it free or is it not? I don't know. I've never.
There is a free version, but it's quite limited.
Right.
Free for the first 400 photos in your sequence. So if your sequence is usually like longer than that, so like 700 photos, and you can only. So what I do is I cut it into 2 folders and like do the first 400 and then the 300.
Right. Okay.
It's like $200 or something. So.
Is it? It's not an Adobe thing, right? It's not an Adobe.
It's a plugin.
A plugin for Adobe. So.
Oh, it's a plugin into Lightroom.
It won't work without Adobe. Is that right?
Well, you need to use Lightroom to edit them. So
yes.
It automatically kind of uploads through the metadata with your keyframes, and then you edit in Lightroom.
So to open up LR Timelapse, you gotta use Lightroom, and then you go for a menu in Lightroom.
No. Have you never used it before?
Never used it before.
Like
it's a
LR Timelapse wouldn't work without Lightroom.
Of course.
So it's
right. Okay.
But you don't have to. You don't go through Lightroom to open it up.
It's its own separate program. Yeah. Right. Gotcha.
Technical. You figure it out.
Okay. I never used it, so I want to learn. You know.
It's handy.
Yeah.
I've used it a few times.
It's good.
Right. I did my
okay.
I did my like Rainbow Bridge time lapse through it. Mm. I used it quite a bit because like I shot it on like I don't know what settings I was shooting it on, to be honest. Like, but I shot it and it's like you're going in a like dark kind of tunnel, and then you're like bright city lights and like a bright station, then dark, and like I used it to kind of flatten the exposure out.
Yeah. All right. Well, should we go Q&As?
Yeah.
So
I got so many dumb. Most of the questions
all
are
dumb friends.
Yeah, pretty much.
So yesterday we asked you guys to ask TK some questions, and we got TK to ask his followers as well some questions.
If you want to contribute, you can find this usually on our guest stories.
Yep.
Or at Demas or at Ichban.
Yep.
Also at 529 Podcast.
Or even if you want to ask a question in general, you can just write a comment onto one of the 529 Podcast videos.
Yeah.
Or just Demas.
Demas will reply. Ask him dumb questions.
So first question from Dion Siswadi. What do you do when you're not inspired? Yeah, sounds very Indo. Dion Siswadi. Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah, what do you do when you're not inspired?
Yeah, interesting question, and I'm sure you guys probably get asked the same question a bit.
It's a common problem.
Yeah, for me though, I guess inspiration isn't something, or motivation, creativity, whatever you want to call it, that it doesn't kind of come and go for me. It's more if I'm in the right mind state and kind of doing the right things and just kind of in a good kind of mind frame.
Yeah.
That's when I probably do best work and things come a little bit more naturally and you're a bit more of a flow.
Yeah.
So I think part of that, you cultivate yourself. Like you need to, like certain habits and different things.
There's that saying, like amateurs wait for inspiration and professionals get to work.
Is that a saying?
Yeah. So like you can't rely on motivation to get to work.
Yes,
like,
yes.
You just do it.
Yes.
And that's the difference between pros and
I think it also comes from momentum as well. So
exactly, you get started.
Once you get that momentum going, you want to keep making and keep growing and keep
I think momentum, like it's an ebb and flow. Like I don't think you should rely on
of course,
that motivation.
Of course.
Yeah.
But it's a good indication to keep motivated and to keep getting momentum, I think.
Yeah.
And if you lose it, then what happens?
Then you kind of try to grow it again.
Hide in the corner.
You try to grow it again. Like I guess it happens to all of us. Like we get momentum.
I don't think it's not so much about momentum. It's about like finding that kind of drive in yourself. Like momentum has nothing to do with it.
Yeah. For me, like if I'm feeling kind of uninspired or I feel like a bit of a lull or I'm not getting stuff done, I make a kind of real effort to set myself little kind of goals and we're talking about it.
That said, we don't even shoot Sydney anymore, so it's like we're in that way demotivated, not very motivated.
In a way, but I guess then you can travel when you're not inspired.
Yeah, if you can afford it, just travel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for me, getting like simple habits, like even things like exercising, getting enough sleep.
Yeah.
Not like you.
Yeah.
Opposite to you.
His routine, but like his routine is to not sleep. So
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
It's still
My
routine.
I think I function a lot better if I'm eating well, sleeping well,
Yeah.
doing simple things, and
I think that's
I'm kind of more.
Like most people.
Yeah, so look after yourself, simple.
All right. Billy Mothra goes,
turn that to his one.
who is your favorite Korean and why is it me?
Well, you answered your question, so.
There's
I
a lot
guess-
of. Oh, you're gone. Sorry.
Do you want to answer it? I don't know.
Is there an answer?
He's just a cool guy. What
Okay,
can you say
alright,
about Billy?
okay.
There's heaps.
And we have our hashtag, so you know,
What's the hashtag?
it's not a hashtag yet.
No, announce it now. What is it? Go.
But no, we were waiting
We're launching
forever for
Yeah.
WHP Japan Street moment.
Oh, you're waiting
Yeah.
forever, but never
we always
happened.
joked about it.
Right,
They axed the whole program.
right,
Yeah, that's the main reason.
right.
That he's
Started,
my favorite.
Look at this question.
No, there's always these.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, skip that
Well,
one.
who's my favorite?
Yeah.
We always.
Can
I
I
like
answer?
who would win in a fight.
Yeah, someone
Oh,
asked,
you haven't seen that one yet.
yes,
Pat's episode.
someone asked who would win out of us two in a fight.
He's answered that one already.
Yeah.
All right.
What was the answer? I have to wait and see.
Yeah, you'll have to
Yeah,
wait
yeah,
and
yeah.
see. You'll probably
like
already see it by this
Watch
episode.
the previous.
Yeah, yeah,
watch
yeah.
Pat K's episode.
Okay.
Jantino.
Yeah, Jamchina, what did he ask?
Have you found your true north?
That's a good question.
TK North.
Yeah.
There's so many like this.
I used to think about using like
Huh?
little catchphrases like
Uh,
go north or just go north.
Yeah. Wait, let's explain to people why your Instagram is TK North. It's because your name is North is in your name.
Yeah, Northey.
yes.
Surname.
That's
So,
your last name.
Yeah.
So that's why it's not just randomly like TK East or TK South.
I like,
It's like
what's his Kanye name? He's
North
T-
side.
Yeah.
Tara Mobley. If he's TK North, where is TK South? Tara, man. Always the dumbest question.
Yeah.
Keep them coming.
No comment, Tyro.
Alan_B_1. Where do I start? I'm completely new to the world of photography. Everything seems complicated.
Just dive in. Like you just need to start somewhere. It is obviously there's even for us there's so much more that we can do and don't know, but you need to start somewhere and just you need to have enjoyment, but you need to just dive in.
Everything's complicated. I think like you shouldn't start with that mindset of like this is too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
You do it because it's fun. Just
stay
do it.
home and do nothing if it's too hard. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pushing yourself and trying new things. You need to have that mindset for sure.
Okay. Luke_Ack says, what has been your favorite location to photograph?
Location, country, Japan.
Yep.
Location,
A city in Japan, maybe, I guess.
No,
Like,
it's
just
fine,
to
whatever.
narrow it down a little bit more than the country.
Mount Fuji. Like
Mount
from
Fuji? Okay.
anywhere is.
Have
Probably
you only
up
been
there.
once with that time that we went?
No, I've been like
Oh, you went back. Oh yeah, you went back on another trip.
twice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once in winter, once in.
Well,
kinda
on that topic, I got one from Hojay.
autumn-ish.
Alright. Okay.
Japan or Korea? This is from Hojay too. Why would you
Right.
ask this, Hojay? Because you're gonna get burnt. Right?
No comment.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You just said it. You said the answer
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
previous
yeah.
answer.
Korea's cool too.
Did you like shooting in Seoul? What did you find interesting about the city?
I guess.
Soju.
Yeah.
Food.
Food's great. Definitely go there for food.
Mm.
But I found it interesting because in some ways, and people, I guess, feel like it's similar to Japan, and in some ways,
I don't know why they always get compared. Yeah.
I guess because they're so
next
close.
to, next to each other. Yeah.
There's some similarities, but
All
it's
Asians
very.
look the same.
You said it.
Go on.
But yeah, it is unique, and
What did you like about it?
the culture definitely stands out, and it's similar to Japan in a different way though. Like the culture and trying to, I guess, tradition kind of. It's very important, and you can kind of see that through.
If
like,
you were to
different
recommend,
palaces and
like if you were to recommend one, like I'm going there for photography, and if you were to recommend one place to shoot or to visit, where would I go?
there's heaps of tourist spots like the palaces and stuff, which are quite unique and pretty cool. I didn't even get to all the. There's.
The cities like Busan and like other.
Name another one.
I don't know any other ones.
I didn't get out of Seoul.
You didn't get us all right. Okay.
So we're only there for 5 days, and
Yeah.
like I shot a fair bit, but it was more kind of to to hang out, I guess.
The markets and stuff, they look pretty cool.
Yeah, that was probably actually a favorite.
Yeah. You get yelled at by like all the ajumas and...
No, they were pretty good in the market. I guess they're used to tourists, but you definitely notice compared to somewhere like Japan that people don't like you taking their photos. Whereas Japan, they'll probably just kind of trying to scurry out of the way.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Or like you're taking a photo and you're waiting for them to walk through something, and then like...
And they never do.
Yeah, they're like, sorry. But yeah, like definitely different. I'd definitely go back there.
All right. So I guess
wrap up. I think
concludes this episode. TK, are there where can people find you and anything you want to plug?
Subscribe to my YouTube,
which is
for sure.
We'll put it up here.
Yeah.
It's Tim Northey on YouTube.
Yep.
Instagram at TK_North.
Yep.
And through website.
Yeah.
TKNorth.com.
If you have any questions for TK, leave it in the comments and I'll make sure he kind of replies. Or Demas will reply.
Demas will reply on my behalf.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. If you want to watch this episode, I mean,
you are watching.
Sorry.
You can watch this episode if you're listening to this on YouTube.
Yes.
And if you're listening to this on iTunes or Spotify,
and you want to see all the images that we talked about, you can check it out on YouTube.
If you leave us a review on the podcast, I think you can do it on iTunes. That'd be a great help.
Yep. And
like, comment, subscribe on YouTube.
Like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. And yeah, we'll catch you guys. Bye.
We gotta come up with something cool. No paper. Bye.